Welcome to Healthy Births, Happy Babies, where we share tips, tools, and stories grounded in natural childbirth and parenting principles, so that instead of feeling overwhelmed and confused during this exciting time in your life, you feel safe, supported, and empowered in your childbirth and parenting journey. And now, here's your host, Dr. Jay Warren.
Hello and welcome. This is our very first podcast episode of Healthy Births, Happy Babies. So I want to thank you for taking the time to listen. And what we decided to do today is bring to you the founders of the CAP Wellness Center, Dr. Capetanakis and Care Messer, and have a discussion about why they created the center, what their vision is in doing so, and how it's going to help you in your pregnancy, with your birth, and with the health of your whole family. So to introduce the CAP Wellness Center, we are a team of fully certified holistic healthcare professionals. We serve the prenatal and postpartum wellness needs of our community, and we offer acupuncture, chiropractic, massage, yoga, lactation support services, and a whole host of birth education classes. We put them all together really so that you are fully able to experience the power of birth. And with each episode of this podcast, our intent is to have conversations with the practitioners that are in our center and those around us in our birth community to bring to you the best information and the most important resources that you need to have a healthy birth and a happy baby. So to introduce myself, I'm Dr. Jay Warren. I am the family wellness chiropractor here at this center. And now I'm going to introduce to you Dr. Cap and Care. So Dr. Cap, how are you?
Hello. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good. And Care, are you there?
I'm here.
Great. And as I said before, the majority of the podcast episodes we're going to be putting out here are going to concentrate on the who's, the what's, the where's, when's, and how's of healthy pregnancy, safe and natural birth, and raising healthy, powerful children. But today, I really want to focus on the whys, why this place was created, and what the vision is for how it's going to serve those of you listening. But first, let's start off with Dr. Cap and Care, you introducing yourselves. So, Dr. Cap, let's start with you. If you could just take a moment to tell us a little bit more about yourself and your background.
Sure. My name is Nicholas Capetanakis. I'm a board-certified OBGYN. I'm practicing here in San Diego, California. I finished residency in 2008. I am kind of born and raised in San Diego, so the plan was always to return in San Diego. I opened up my private practice in 2010 and have been delivering out of Scripps Encinitas since then. And I also collaborate with a midwife who's in my practice. And that's a little bit about my background.
Very good. And Care?
I kind of accidentally came about finding natural birth as my platform and passion through the own birth, my birth of my baby. After my birth was what I would call seamless, amazing, and transformative. I became a doula, and the next weekend became trained and certified in teaching hypnobirthing. And then 3 years later, opened up the Birth Education Center and began working with doulas, became a certified hypnotherapist through NATH, and continued my work educating parents to have a beautiful birth. So that's how I got started, and then Dr. Cap and I came together.
Yeah, and so how did you guys meet? Or how did you get together to create this wellness center?
Care and I have known each other for a few years, I would say, and what I was noticing in my own private practice was how many ancillary staff members went into having amazing births. The issue that I was having was that I didn't always have a direct access or the collaborative care that I desired for my practice. And what I was noticing was when patients did seek ancillary members to the birth team, their births seemed to go more to what they had planned. And And my concern was that because I didn't have direct access with all these amazing ancillary staff in San Diego, I wanted to create a center to bring all that in-house to where I knew that I was getting my patients the best care. And I also knew that we would have direct access to each other. So if somebody saw an issue that they felt needed to be discussed, they could call me on my cell phone personally. And everybody on the healthcare team was working together to ensure that this birth was going to be amazing. I knew CARE had her her education center up and running and was doing amazing things. And what I noticed was that the births that I was getting from her education center seemed to be flawless and beautiful and amazing and powerful. And what I wanted to do was then, again, bring that all under one roof and have all these amazing practitioners working together. And what I eventually decided was we needed to make that happen. And the first phone call I, made was to Miss Care. And we discussed the possibility, and we got together for dinner, and off we went.
And funny, when I got the phone call or the message, I thought I was in trouble. Like, why is Dr. Cap calling me? What did I do? I totally screwed up. And what I was finding, too, with my parents is once they had care providers that supported the vision that they had in mind, whether or not it was a vaginal or a belly birth, the supportive care provider made that birth a sacred experience and not just a surgery, or when an intervention needed to be put in place for the safety of mom or baby, it was done with the utmost care and consideration, as well as education, and allowing the parents to make that call instead of just ordering this is what was going to happen. My parents still had beautiful, stellar births, and so important to have the right care providers on board for that, not only before they get into the birth room, but with the acupuncturists, chiropractors, massage therapists, yoga instructors, educators, all of the outside people all working together with the same common goal and the same theme, that your body is powerful, and no matter what kind of birth you choose, we're here with you. And that's the vision of the center, and when we could put that together, it's turned out absolutely amazing.
Right, and there are many different wellness centers in San Diego or even around the country that say they're an integrated care office, and obviously I don't know every single one of them, but my experience has been that there might have been a lot of practitioners under one roof, but they were operating independently. And being a part of this, obviously, like every woman that's coming in paperwork-wise is signing an integrated care agreement, which by HIPAA laws allows the practitioners to share information. But I've seen firsthand with people that are coming in to see me for chiropractic care that are also seeing the acupuncturist, we can truly collaborate and then give that information over to you, Dr. Cap, to say, this is the progress we're seeing in the third trimester, keep an eye on this, and vice versa. And I know there's patients that are here that they might not be seeing me for chiropractic care, but I can look at what's going on with their care plan with the other practitioners and give my 2 cents just to keep an eye on things and really have their pregnancy be the healthiest thing possible so that their delivery is as powerful and as beautiful and as safe and natural as they want it to be.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. When you say that there's probably several wellness centers in San Diego, it's somewhat of an understatement. I think there's probably wellness centers on every corner. Yes. But when you talk about truly collaborative care where the patient is the center of the entire discussion and you're not having, 3 to 5 different practitioners all doing their own thing, however the collaboration is missing, I don't know if you're going to optimize the care to the level that we have now here at the Wellness Center. We're able to kind of have a doors open policy where even if a patient, like you said, has not personally seen you, you may know them and you may be able to add to their care. One of the biggest concerns here, here in the U.S. for maternity care is the notion that we've lost the quote unquote village that supports that mom. the aunts, the grandmas, the parents that are all there along with all the siblings to really empower that patient. So not only have we created an environment where we've got the best practitioners in San Diego, we've created that village mentality when we have a breastfeeding support group and the moms get together, and whether or not they've delivered with me or not, they're able to sit there, talk about their stories, empower each other. And when the moms come in for a yoga class prior to delivery, they're hearing good, positive energy, and it's just a beautiful environment to be exposed to prior to your delivery. Even after your delivery, the continuing care that's needed afterwards is just as important as before. But we've really created a beautiful village here for moms to get empowered.
Well, and one of my favorite things is I can be answering the desk, the phone at the front desk, and a mom comes in and she says, "Do you mind if I just breastfeed here for a little bit? My car's really hot." And I love that she feels comfortable enough to come back home and breastfeed for a few minutes and talk and get some more resources and hook up with when's the next mommy baby yoga class, or I'm going to see Dr. Cap next week. It's so open and so comfortable for them because they literally pee on a stick, see Dr. Cap, and then they come over, and it becomes a new place of respite and resources, not only here but throughout the community. I love that.
And that's really what this podcast will also become part of as well, is the support. It's an informational support, but it's something that all of us here are working to create a video library, a audio library, to be able to really have the women that are coming here for care to have all the information available to them, whether it's taking our classes or listening to this podcast or watching the videos, along with the visits that they're coming to see, whether they're getting adjusted or a massage or acupuncture or their prenatal visit with you, Dr. Cap. And one of the things I wanted to ask you about is the tagline, if you will, of the Wellness Center is the power of birth. And tell us more about that. Like, how did you come about that being a message that you wanted to, put right on the sign in front of our Wellness Center?
Yeah, after doing deliveries and watching the transformation, if we're talking about first-time parents, seeing the transformation that occurs in the delivery room. And watching moms who come from all different walks of life come together, and that vision of a baby on a mom's belly, and the raw emotion from every member in the room, from the husband to the patient, is probably one of the most powerful things I've ever seen in my entire life. And being able to be a part of that on an almost daily basis really will change your life. And seeing how moms that you might think are feeling like they're not ready, or they're not in the place that they need to be, come in and have these amazing births, and to see them in that raw emotion state is very powerful. So for me, the power of birth encompasses everything in a woman's body that is just the raw, stripped down version, and there's nothing like it. So the power of birth really is just mind-blowing.
Well, and I think that also plays into Dr. Capetanakis is very supportive of vaginal birth after cesarean, or VBACs. Whereas a lot of docs are not, because he believes in the power of birth, and he believes in the woman's body to perform. And we prepare them to get back the birth that they didn't have before. And if that is not possible for whatever reason, to be prepared to have a different experience than they did before. And Dr. Cap really makes that happen with his gentle cesarean to the fullest extent, where that baby is skin to skin, and usually nursing before that baby leaves the OR. And that is a beautiful gift to be able to give to a family who may have not had that experience the last time. And it encompasses every kind of birth that way, because every birth here with Dr. Capetanakis is a sacred birth. And it's a beautiful way to begin your baby's life.
Beautiful. And one of the things, too, that really comes through when a person comes into our center is that family feel and that community feel. I have heard from many a patient that comes through here of basically saying, like, I feel really well taken care of here. And that's something that I know each one of the practitioners here that's working along with you, Dr. Cap, is it's really important to us that that's translated in every interaction that we have, because that's something that you really wanted every woman to feel, and every dad that comes in as well along with their babies to feel. And the more and more community that we can build, whether it's through the classes or through yoga or through groups that are formed after babies come around, the more transformative it's going to be for our own community, as well as trickling out through all of San Diego. And I believe it starts with the care they're receiving during the pregnancy, and then in the care once their beautiful baby's brought into the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that I talk about with all my patients is that, unfortunately, people spend too much time researching the computer they're going to buy, the car they're going to buy, but they don't necessarily research the provider and the team that's going to be around them on the most sacred day that they're going to have. And it's unfortunate that medicine has changed to where you actually have to do some research to find the team that's going to best support you for whatever birth you choose to have. It's crucial that you have members around you that empower you. I mean, I tell my patients all the time, you should leave every appointment feeling stronger and more empowered than when you came in. And that's something that, unfortunately, is not a message that is well known or is well understood in the community. And that's a big part of what we're doing. We want mamas to feel empowered and strong and supported. We want them to go in with no fear, and we want them to go in with beautiful anticipation and positive energy, and just be ready for whatever birth might come, but be prepared that it's going to be transformative.
I kind of feel too, and I've always felt this, there are just a few providers, even in our town, that I can feel confident in sending my moms to, where I know that doc is going to look at them and look for what's right about their pregnancy instead of all the things that could be wrong. I noticed that even in your wording, when you're doing a quick ultrasound on a mom or a check, you're like, let's see how happy that baby is, instead of words like, I just want to make sure everything's okay, with this daunting look, because pregnant moms they suck all that in, and they need to be sucking in the energy that everything's okay, and so's my baby, and I've got the right doc, I'm going to be okay. Because the mind is very pliable when you're pregnant, and it needs to be filled with beauty, strength, and confidence so that you can make better decisions and get more education about what you want for your birth.
Yeah, absolutely. When we're talking with moms, it's really about the positive aspect of something that's been going on for thousands of years, uninterrupted, and still works just fine.
Yes.
And reassuring and reiterating that to moms is crucial, because unfortunately, there's two ways to look at pregnancies. You can look at it as a normal process that's been going on without, let's say, physicians' help, for thousands of years, or you can look at it as a process that you actually need me to have a successful birth. And the reality is you actually don't. You need to be empowered. You need to be strong. You need me for a small portion of that, or a small percentage of the time where you need a physician to step in and to ensure safety. But for the most part, if you empower your patients, they're going to have amazing births.
Well, and I think what people don't understand and we've forgotten is that birth is an automated process. It's very simple. It's going to happen whether you want it to or not. And when you go into it with the right care providers and no fear and education and the right team around you, it's pretty simple. And you can let go and surrender to it and just enjoy your birth.
And then bring those babies into the world that much calmer and relaxed and ready to start a fantastic life.
Yep.
And that's, as far as creating the team, I think we've assembled an amazing team that is really heart-centered and patient-centered to be able to take care of people in a really strong healthcare setting. But then also we're building out an incredible educational library, and that's going to be through our YouTube channel with videos about different topics, as well as this podcast. We'll be doing weekly on different topics. We'll have Dr. Cap back to talk about all kinds of things from natural cesarean to VBAC care. We're going to have you on a lot talking about all of the educational programs that you have here, as well as all of the other practitioners to be able to share their knowledge and wisdom to be able to have this pregnancy be very healthy and powerful, and for those babies to be brought in safely and naturally. So with our last few minutes that we have here, I wanted to ask both of you just to summarize, and I'll start with you, Dr. Cap, like what's one thing that you'd like a woman listening to this podcast right now to take to heart based on what we've talked about today? What's the one thing you'd like to have them remember?
I would say to every woman to trust their body, get empowered, find a healthcare professional, physician, midwife that you can trust. And if you have any inklings that the team that you've assembled is not going to be potentially the best team for you, for what you desire, then it's okay to seek out another opinion or get some more information from somebody else. Unfortunately, I think too many people feel that they don't have options and feel that wherever they are is good enough, but good enough is not good enough. Not when you're talking about the birth of your child. You really have to feel no inhibition and no qualms about the team that you've assembled. And if that at any point you feel that something's not going exactly how you would like, don't ignore that feeling. I mean, that little voice on your shoulder has protected you this long, and it's important to listen to that and take back your birth.
Beautiful. And Care, what pearl of wisdom do you have that you'd like women to remember right now?
I think the same thing. You're only birthing this baby one time, and there are no do-overs in birth. So the stronger the educational point you come from, and the best care provider possible that you have on your team, as well as a doula, I always will suggest a doula, will make a huge difference in how you view your birth. Because the only thing that you can actually control in your birth is the feeling in that room and the feeling on your chest when that baby lands there. And that should be peace, love, welcomed, joy, not fear and anxiety. It should be a warm, heart-centered beginning for your baby.
That is beautiful as well. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Cap. Thank you, Care, for being here today to share the story of how the Cap Wellness Center came about, and all of the information around our classes and the services and how to get involved in the community that we're creating here is available on our website. It's capwellnesscenter.com. You can get information about the articles and blogs and classes there. It'll be included in the show notes here on how to get in touch with us. And so, Dr. Cap, Care, thank you so much for being here today, and we will see each other on the next podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. For more information about this episode and other natural childbirth and parenting topics, please visit us at capwellnesscenter.com or message us on our Facebook page with any questions you might have. We here at the Cap Wellness Center look forward to helping you and your family be as happy and healthy as you can be.